I am thrilled to be back with Dena Kirkpatrick. She and her phenomenal mare, Gracie's Lane, clean swept our Derby here at Pink Buckle. You won the first go, you won the second go, and you won the average, Dena. We know that you could be a long ways down the road by now, but you stayed. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yes, I could be home by now probably, but she was winning it, and you never know because I was in the first 15. I never ever count my chickens before they hatch. But I thought, if she wins this, I'm going to be there to do the interview and get her picture or whatever she gets to do because it's rare. Winning first place it's rare and it's a gift from God. And I'm just and it's her last Derby. Yes. This is Gracie's last Derby, so I'm so excited. So I stuck around.
You bought this phenomenal filly as Ursha's mare now, but you bought her when she was a yearling filly, and you've owned her now for 7 years. She's 8, correct?
That's
yes.
Correct. Going on 9.
Yeah. So what have you learned about her? Describe her personality to us.
People laugh at me, but she's a little waspy every now and then, not in a bad way. Like, I'm not scared of her, but I was loping around the barrel one day, just loping to do a pattern, and she pitched me in front of the saddle horn, and she'll grab her butt and kick up, and she's always had that in her. And, but I have never been upset with her about that because her work ethic is so great. She's a little heavy. She's a little pushy in her bridle. And that also though, like, I get her attention, but I make sure I remembered that when I'm riding around before I run, even when she was a futurity colt, not to worry about that because when she goes down the alley, she does the right thing. She's not pushy at me, but loping circles on her. Sometimes I'm like, okay, you're really trying to try my patience a little bit. And she has gotten keeping them this long because when I was a futurity horse trainer, I didn't get to keep them past 6. And a lot of them not until then, So I've kept 3 horses past 6 in my life, and she's one of them. But so this age where she is built, she is bulky and strong and been to a few. She thinks she knows what to do, and she's pretty opinionated now. And of course, I let her be. So anyway, I don't mind her opinionated, and I don't get on to her hardly ever. And I will say, in her life, she trained so easily that I skipped a step that I actually didn't realize I had skipped. And I teach clinics, and so I tell people you can't skip steps because down the road someday you'll be sorry. Well, I did come to a place. Her futurity year was great. When she got more in, running and more confidence, I realized I had skipped a little step, and when they're that age and you're having to, they're 5 or 6 and you're having to kind of get onto them for something or make them do something, they're not very happy. I tease and I say it's like if you're going to talk to your 5-year-old about something, if you wait till he's 16, you got to get a bigger stick. But I've never hit her. But anyway, but she did for a week because I just hadn't done some stuff that I always do. The barrel racing came so easy for her, and I did have to go through a stage with her where I had to kind of like, look, we got to do a little bit of this different. And I remember feeling stupid for passing that. I don't know why I skipped the step, except that things came so easy for her. And she is one of those horses. She's definitely a gift from God. And I am blessed to have her. I really can't take credit for what that mare can do in that arena. She just is one of those horses.
You have dedicated your life to this sport. You've dedicated your life to educating people about this sport. Tell us how that connects to the bigger picture of what your life is really about.
Well, and I'm 60, and so, in retrospect, you see things. But the horses have always been a platform that has allowed me some very special human relationships, and I believe that God gives them to you for that. And so I've loved the people. The Jarvises, like the Goodbye Lane people. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. 7 years. She's 8, so yeah, 7 years ago, I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But anyway, so I just think that's a big thing with the horses and the relationships with the people that you come in contact with, or even develop very, very, very close relationships with through the horses. And I think that in the grand scheme of things, that's a huge part of it. So, I hope that in the being allowed to have a platform to teach or talk to people, I hope I've helped them with not just the horse training, but, and I often, and you have a little kid now, I often talk about how much like kids training a horse is, so much like it. And so, that I talk about that a lot, and I think it helps, my kids, they would get a kick out of being here. They would be like, oh mom, but anyway, they've both called me, and I was talking the other day about Gracie. I've let her turn into a hothouse flower, and my oldest kid said it's kind of inevitable with you, mom. Anyway.
Well, you are an absolute gem, Dena, and a heck of a horsewoman. We are thrilled for you. Congratulations on this huge win.
Thank you so much. And I just also, it's just so fun to be here. So yeah, thanks. I enjoyed the interview. Appreciate it.